Welcome to Beyond the Clinic, the podcast for health professionals ready to transform their expertise into innovative income streams that extend beyond the traditional clinic model. I'm Sarah Armand-Bushell. I'm a registered dietitian and certified business coach and proud owner of 2 successful online businesses. I understand the leap from the security of a regular salary can feel intimidating because I've been there too. But it doesn't have to be scary, and you do not have to do this alone. Here you'll learn tangible strategies to accelerate your business growth. So if you're dreaming of using your expertise to create impact and a life of freedom, then you're in the right place. Digital products, well, they're just fantastic because they are one of the best ways to grow your income without you having to work more hours. I made over £180,000 in my nutrition business from low-priced digital products alone, and they completely changed the game for me in my business. And they've done exactly the same for my clients' businesses too. So today I'm going to give you 10 really tangible ideas for profitable digital products that you could create and sell in your own businesses. We'll go through each of my ideas individually so that you can see what might fit your business, as well as what to include and some suggestions around how to price each one. And I'm also going to talk to you about the specific digital product that generated me the most success in my nutrition business. The one that made me around, £400 to £800 per month once it was created, depending on how often I talked about it. And towards the end of today's episode, I'll also be sharing with you exciting details about how you can work with me this summer, as well as your chance to get a £1,000 cash bonus. So make sure you stay tuned till the end so that you don't miss all the important info for that. I'm sure most of you are probably aware of what a digital product is as a concept, but just in case anyone is unsure, a digital product is simply taking what you already know, so your expertise or your methods, and packaging it up into a low-cost resource of some kind that solves a very specific problem. Then once you've created it, it doesn't really require any of your time except for promoting it. It must feel like a no-brainer for the person who's buying it, something that they really, really want at a price that feels really easy to say yes to. So even if someone doesn't know you that well yet, they still feel comfortable buying it. Adding one well thought out digital product into your business comes with so many benefits, honestly. It means that you can make money on the days that you're not working. It means that you have something to offer people who aren't ready for your more expensive stuff. And not all of your content has to lead to a discovery call in order to get someone to say yes. And most importantly, it means that you can start to build a business that isn't totally dependent upon your time. So let's dive into those 10 ideas for profitable digital products, shall we? So idea 1 is a condition-specific guide. So you could do this as an e-guide or a simple PDF. So for example, it could be something like a guide on eating for ADHD, or blood sugar balance made simple, or nutrition after a PCOS diagnosis, or how to wean your CMPA baby. See how those examples are really, really specific. And these are essentially the same resources that you might already be giving in clinic, like handouts or diet sheets, but they're packaged up into a digital good. You can make it really simple, just a cover with your branding and the title of what the guide is, then an introduction, a little bit about you and how you help people, and then the main content or the guidance laid out really clearly. And then finally, just a back page with details on how they can work with you further if they want to. And the price point for something like this would typically be something around £27 to maybe up to £45. But please don't be tempted to create what are called micro offers. So a micro offer is something that's super, super low priced that you might see selling for something like £7. And they're often promoted by bloggers. But Don't forget, a blogger isn't a registered healthcare professional with clinical training, a degree, and real-world patient experience, and a professional body behind them. That kind of expertise, that has a price, and it absolutely is not £7. So that's idea number one, a really great one if you want to start with something very, very simple. Okay, idea two is a symptom diary or a food diary, but with a clinician written interpretation guide. So in other words, this is a fillable diary paired with your explanation of what to actually do with the data. So for instance, it might be a food and mood log, a hunger scale tracker, or a pre-appointment symptom diary. And then you would pair this with a guide that explains exactly what patterns to look out for, what the common triggers might mean, and which findings are worth taking to a professional. So the diary gives your clients something to do, but the interpretation guide gives them something to understand. And something like this would typically range between maybe £17 to £27, given that added clinical value. So that's idea number two, a symptom or a food diary, but with that clinician written interpretation guide. Okay, idea number three, it's something I did in my nutrition business and it worked amazingly for me. So idea three is a portion size guide or a visual eating guide. So when I sold portion size guides, they made me between £400 to £800 a month, depending on how often I promoted them and talked about them that month. So there's definitely proof that these work. And one of the questions that parents kept asking me was, am I feeding my baby enough? So I created these baby and toddler portion size guides. And at first, I gave them away for free. I thought it would be an amazing lead magnet. And I got 4,035 downloads in the first 8 days. So soon after that, I started charging just $9.99 for them. And before I knew it, I was making that nice round figure of £400 to £800 a month from these alone. And you know what? They still sell today with almost no ongoing promotion. So the lesson here is, when you're deciding what kind of digital product to create, first ask yourself what questions you get asked over and over and over again, because that is where the demand is. Now, there's loads of different options with this idea. You might do something like a portion size guide like I did, if that fits your niche. Or you might do something like a plate graphics showing how to build a balanced meal in a really simple way. And people can print out this kind of resource. They can stick them to their fridge. They can refer back to them at meal times. So it becomes something that supports them day to day. And this is great for you because it's reminding them of you and your business on a daily basis as well. Now, you can do this thing really easily on Canva, and I'd recommend selling it for somewhere around sort of $9.99, maybe up to £15 or so. Now, idea number 4 is a super niche recipe collection ebook. And niche, that is the key here. So you want your recipe collections to be based on a specific condition or a specific goal that someone has. So some examples might be an IBS-friendly family meals, or it could be low allergen lunchbox ideas, or high protein meals for strength training recovery. You need to be super specific, especially with this kind of resource, because there are millions and millions of free recipes online, and your audience knows that. So a general recipe collection genuinely won't sell, but a tightly pitched clinician curated collection that gives your reader genuine nutrition reassurance, well, that will. Because your audience will know that every recipe has been chosen by a registered healthcare professional with their specific clinical condition in mind. And that is a different product entirely, because it's not something that's already available everywhere on Google. Now, I recommend pricing something like this quite low, maybe that £7 to £9 mark. And these work brilliantly as a small extra that people can add on at the checkout when they're already buying a higher priced guide or a workbook. That's what you call an order bump. Okay, idea number 5 is a what to expect preparation guide for a specific procedure or event or even a life stage. So again, it's niche specific. It's a guide that answers the questions that people are asking before a significant health event or transition. And this is really common in terms of digital products. So the key here, again, is to be as specific as you possibly can. So, for instance, fueling your teen through exam season, how to prepare for a colonoscopy, what happens during an autism assessment. So I want you to think about how this might fit with your niche, what situations your clients need to prepare for, and what questions are they likely to be asking you beforehand. These prep guides, these can sell brilliantly because the audience is likely to be already searching for answers and they want to feel prepared for what's ahead. They might be anxious when preparing for a procedure or a diagnosis, and that means they're going to be more motivated to buy. You could create a written checklist that they can follow in the lead up to an event, or you could do a short pre-recorded video walking them through how to prepare themselves. Sometimes hearing a calm and knowledgeable professional talk you through what's coming can be worth more than a written guide or a checklist. And you might include things like what to do in the days leading up to it, what to expect on the day itself, common mistakes that you might want to avoid, and answer some of the most FAQs that you might hear in clinic. A no-brainer price for this would be around £9 to maybe £15 or so. Okay, the next idea I've got for you is a client behavior change workbook. So this is designed to help people implement new behaviors. So you might introduce them to techniques that you use with clients to break old habits and build new ones to help them get to their goals. So let's say you're an IBS dietitian. You could create a behavior change workbook to guide them through the behavioral side of changing their eating. You might include a section prompting the client to track their stress levels, for example, before meal times, and maybe even their chewing habits during it. You could have a section where they brainstorm exactly how they're going to handle an upcoming dinner party, or a section to help them manage anxiety that often follows a flare-up. So by the end, they haven't just followed a diet, they've actually started to rewire how they relate to food and their body. And this is where you start charging a little more because the perceived value here is a bit higher. Another reason why this is a great digital product idea is because it can often help them get direct results. And when people get results from your low-cost offers, then they're a lot more likely to want to work with you further. Okay, idea 7 is a niche-specific subscription resource library. So this is a subscription model, which means it will help you create predictable, reoccurring revenue in your business. It might feel like a bit more work up front than simply writing a guide, but it will definitely benefit you long term. So your resource library would be tailored again to one very specific clinical condition or a demographic or it could be someone's health goal actually. And the key, again, there's a theme here you can tell, is keeping it really, really tightly niched so that the content isn't generic. So for instance, a parent managing a child with multiple food allergies, or someone newly diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, or a patient working through cardiac rehabilitation. These are people who need ongoing support, not a single download. And a low-cost subscription gives them that ongoing support at a price point that's very easy to say yes to, whilst giving you a more predictable income stream. So that's a win-win all round, isn't it? So people pay a small, accessible monthly fee, typically maybe £12 to £25, maybe up to £49 if it's something very, very specific and there's a bit of access to you as well. And essentially they will access a growing collection of your resources. So it could be things like bite-sized videos that explain things. It could be printable trackers. It could be audio guides. So that's idea number 7, and it's a really clever one. Okay, idea 8. Now this is a bit of a different one. It's a professional development resource for your peers. So don't make the mistake of thinking your only customers are patients. if you've spent years mastering a specific niche, whether that's pediatric nutrition or public health or complex sports rehab, you've likely developed the kind of skills that other professionals would pay to learn. Now, the B2B, business to business angle is incredibly powerful because clinicians are highly motivated and time poor audience, and they're always wanting better results for their clients. So there's lots of different ways that you could package up your expertise for them. Video masterclasses are always great, or slide deck style presentations. The beauty of this is that healthcare professionals are significantly less price sensitive than the general public. They aren't looking for a bargain, they're looking to invest. And that investment is something that's going to save them time and increase their authority. Now, because of this, these resources, these can comfortably sit at a much higher price point. £200 plus would not be unusual here. Okay, now on to idea number 9, a condition-specific meal plan with recipes and a shopping list. So this is designed to be a done-for-you solution. And again, this would need to be a meal plan based around one hyper-specific condition or dietary need. So for example, it could be a meal plan designed to manage unwanted ADHD symptoms for better focus, or it could be calming gastroesophageal reflux disease, or navigating a strict wheat-free, egg-free, soy-free and dairy-free diet for a child. Now, the more specific, the better. Because think about it, the parent of the child who has multiple food allergies has been failed by every generic meal plan there is out there that they've ever downloaded. And when they find your plan, which accounts for every single one of their restrictions, they won't just buy it, they'll be your biggest fan. Now, this kind of digital product works really well as a standalone purchase, and it can work as an upsell or an order bump alongside a condition-specific guide. And the done-for-you nature is the biggest selling point with this, because your buyer isn't looking for inspiration. They do not want to create their own meal plans. They are just exhausted, and they want someone to tell them exactly what to eat and what to cook this week. So as much as you might hate doing meal plans, your clients want them. And in business, we have to give people what they want if we want to have a profitable business. Your expertise ensures that every recipe is clinically appropriate, every meal is balanced, and every shopping list is actually practical. And that peace of mind is exactly what they're paying for. Now, an offer like this could range anywhere actually from £9 to £49, depending on the complexity of the meal plan and the number of weeks that you might want to include. And then finally, idea number 10 is an AI-powered support companion for clients in between sessions. So this is a custom-trained AI tool built entirely around your clinical approach and your methods that's available for people 24/7. Now, it's not a replacement for you. It's not for diagnosing or collecting sensitive health data. Instead, it's there for those moments in between appointments when a client feels stuck, is hit with a sudden symptom, or faces that 11 p.m. Friday night panic that they'd feel too embarrassed to WhatsApp you about or pop in your community group. So it works by reminding them of the strategies that you've already covered with them in your one-to-one sessions. It troubleshoots difficult situations like what to do when they're at a restaurant and the menu is an absolute minefield. And it provides instant reassurance based on your highly specific and unique protocols. So this could either be a low-cost monthly add-on to your existing service, or you could actually sell it as a standalone product. And trust me, you do not need to be a tech genius to build a custom AI tool. I've got loads of them. And I'd suggest a price point around £25 to £49 a month for something like this, because they are so highly valued. Okay, so there you have it. We've covered 10 super profitable ideas for digital goods for health professionals like you. I hope it's given you some ideas and some inspiration. So now it's just time for you to pick one. When picking what to go for, think about what would solve your client's biggest stuck point. And remember, you can create any of these digital products, but if you want to be able to sell them daily, you also need a system behind it. And that's exactly what we're going to be tackling in the next episode. I'm going to show you how to move from manual selling to an autopilot sales process that works in the background of your business. Okay, now before we wrap up today, I have got some exciting news. Doors to my business support program are going to be opening very soon for summer, but not just yet. Now, this program, this helps you get consistent clients. It creates a predictable income and it builds a health business that feels effortless to run. There's 3 levels of support depending upon your budget and how hands-on you want me to be. And no matter where you are in business, I'll meet you where you're at. I've been spending the last few weeks refining and rebuilding the program to make it even more valuable and help you get results even quicker. And I've created something completely unique called the Business Prescription Path, which is the exact framework that I've spent years refining through trial and error, building my own businesses to 6 figures. So inside you'll get access to all of it. Now, this is the time to get your name on the waitlist, because when the waitlist doors open in the next few weeks, I'm going to be offering a £1,000 cash bonus. By putting your name on the waitlist today, you're not signing up for anything at all yet. You're just making sure that you're going to be the first to know when the waitlist doors open. So if getting my business support is something that you've been thinking about, even just a little bit, honestly, now's the time you want to get your name on the list. If you go to the show notes for this episode, you'll find the link. Bye for now. That's it for another week. Thank you so much for joining me as we explore the abundance of strategies to help you recapture that feeling of possibility and excitement as you drive your business forwards and beyond the clinic room. If you found today's episode inspirational, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the show to stay in the loop for more valuable advice that I'm going to be sharing each week. If you want to be the first to hear about new episode releases, news and ways that I can support your business growth, then please don't forget to check out the links in the show notes, and you can also connect with me from there. Don't keep me a secret. I would be delighted if you left a review and shared this podcast with your colleagues. Until next time, bye for now.